What's up? What's up? Happy Monday. Hope you're having an awesome day. Cassie Woods coming at you live for our finale of this 5-day Mind Gut Challenge. I'm going to do a technology check real quick. So if you are hopping on live, drop a live in the comments. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know how your Monday is going. Tell me if it's good, great, wonderful, horrible. How are things going? I'm looking for... Here we are. I see it. All right. So if you are on live this morning, give me a comment. Say what's up. Say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from so I can make sure. What's up, Kelsey? All right. Kate is on. Okay. Let's dive into it today. So today is day 5. This is the finale of this 5-day Mind Gut Challenge. You guys have the last 3 days to go through, catch up on all of the 1, 2, 3, and 4 lessons from last week. And today we are going to bring it all together. We're going to talk about how to optimize, how to take all of that information that we went through, all of those little micro changes, those little good, better, and best action steps that you implemented last week, and how to really see some progress and see some long-term change with your mood, with your energy, with your gut health, with your brain health, with how you feel and how you show up in your everyday life. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Tell me what you're up to today. Tell me how you're doing. Is it a good day? If it's a good day, drop a good in the comments. If it's an okay day, just like it's okay, drop an okay in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. I have the most amazing weekend. My day is a great day. We went camping. It was a lot of fun. That's the first time that we've done that with the girls. So it was super fun. So I had a great weekend. Having connection issues. Am I having connection issues? Because I'm not showing it on my end. It looks like it's good on my end. So let me know before I dive in. Let me know. Okay. If someone would be like, thumbs up, good, you're good, before I dive into this, I would so super appreciate that. Great day. Working horses. Awesome, Crystal. Kate's having an okay day. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is how to optimize. This is day 5. This is the finale of our 5-day Mind Gut Challenge, and let's hop into it. All right, so I said this on day 1, and it is my firm belief that a woman who can master her mood can change the world. I want you to drop an agree in the comments if you believe this to be true, that if you could master your mood and show up as your best self, automatically you decide how you feel, how you think, how you show up, what your energy level is, mental, physical, and emotional, that you could change the world. I want you to drop an agree in the comments if you find that to be true. All right, so I'm gonna just give you guys a little recap again about me. I am a self-taught health nut. I was diagnosed with a mood disorder and PTSD at 23, which is about 10 years ago. And I've managed to treat that mood disorder or live with that mood disorder, however you want to say it, without pharmaceutical medication, through nutrition, exercise, stress management, therapy, and supplementation. And through my own journey of managing my diagnosis, managing my mental health, managing my anxiety, my depression, all of those things that go along with that mood disorder, I have found that everything always led back to the gut. Every single time, it always led back to the gut. After my second high-risk pregnancy about 2.5 years ago, so a little bit longer than that, Ellie will be 3 in December, I was on bed rest for 4 months. I had 2 rounds of broad spectrum IV antibiotics and 1 round of oral antibiotics in a short period of time, in about a 6-week period of time. I had 19 progesterone shots from 17 weeks to 36 weeks. And it absolutely destroyed my health, my mental health, my physical health, my hormones. I was dealing with all kinds of issues after that pregnancy. I had insomnia, where I couldn't sleep for more than maybe 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours at a time, whether Ellie was sleeping or not. And that just wreaks havoc on your body in and of itself, and especially for my mood disorder. That's one of the biggest symptoms and triggers that I have with that. I was having postpartum anxiety and postpartum OCD. I was having regular panic attacks. My hair was falling out. I had major digestive issues. I was dealing with constipation, brain fog, mood swings, food sensitivities, weight loss resistance, just chronic puffiness, right? Drop a puffy in the comments if you've dealt with that, where you're like, I am just inflamed. I am puffy. I don't feel well. That's what I was dealing with. And through the new science of the gut-brain axis, I'm now feeling better than I ever thought possible. And I went in depth into my story on day 1, but I just wanted to give you a recap of why you should listen to me, why I think that I know anything about anything, and why I might have a little bit of perspective to help you if you are dealing with some of these things, because I've walked through it. I've been through it. I know what it feels like. So many of you that are in this group are dealing with, you know, a lot of those same things, dealing with sleep issues, dealing with the gut issues, with the digestive issues, dealing with the mood issues where you feel frazzled, you feel anxious, you feel overwhelmed, you feel burnt out, you feel like you have brain fog nonstop, right? I get you. I understand what it feels like to be like that, and it doesn't have to be that way. Although it is common, it is not normal, all right? So I just want to remind you again one more time that you are your most valuable asset, okay? I want you to drop the word asset in the comments if you know this to be true. You are your most valuable asset, point blank, end of story. You are worth investing in yourself, okay? So let me show you as we go through this how to maximize that return. So on day 1, we talked about what exactly does the mind-gut connection do, and I just want to recap that for you one more time, okay? So number 1, your immune system. The gut wall, that gut lining, that 1 cell thick lining that goes from your mouth all the way down to your back end, houses 70% of the immune cells that make up the immune system, okay? And this is in direct communication throughout the rest of your body. You have your enteric nervous system. So the gut actually has its own communication network, this enteric nervous system that is separate from the brain. So the brain, we have the central nervous system and the vagus nerve that goes back and forth, and then the gut has its own nervous system called the enteric nervous system. That is housed in that gut lining. That is how your gut, your immune system, your hormones, all these different things are talking to your body from the gut to the brain, is through that enteric nervous system. So that's one thing. Another thing is digestion, right? So your motility, AKA like how fast you are able to go to the bathroom. So if you have any type of digestive issues, obviously there's a direct link in what's going on with your gut and your gut flora, and then also that communication between the gut and the brain. Also your nutrient absorption and assimilation, basically like how your body processes and deals with food, all is through your gut and then through your gut-brain connection, all right? Our mental health is another area that our mind-gut connection is very, very integral in, okay? So things like motivation, focus, memory, creativity, cognitive flexibility, which is what that is stress resilience, okay? So that means that when a stressful event comes at you, you have that cognitive flexibility to remain calm and think through the problem. I want you to drop a stress resilience in the comments if you're like, I would like a little bit of that. That would be helpful. That would be nice. But that is impacted by gut flora and communication between the gut and the brain through our hormones and our neurotransmitters. All right. And then another thing that the mind-gut connection does is it modulates and regulates our hormones. So this can come down to metabolism. So how your body, how efficient it does or doesn't process calories, right, from the food that you're eating. That comes down to your metabolism, whether you store fat, whether you burn fat, all of those kinds of things. Comes down to metabolism, your hunger and satiety. So whether you have an over, a strong appetite or no appetite at all, or an irregular appetite, or whether or not you can kind of cue in to whether you're full or you're still hungry. So that whole idea of intuitive eating, right? Intuitive eating, which means that you would know when you're hungry, you would know the right kinds of foods to eat, and you would know when to stop eating intuitively. I want you to drop the word intuitive in the comments if you're like, that sounds like the diet that I want to be on, right? That is possible when you have a healthy microbiome and your hormones are balanced. Then our body knows best. Our body always knows best. But when our gut is unhealthy and our hormones are out of balance, then these cues, these hunger cues, these satiety cues, they get out of balance. And so our body gets very confused, okay? So our hunger and satiety, our stress hormone, which is our cortisol, all these things are modulated, metabolized, and regulated through our gut, and specifically through our gut-brain connection, so that mind-gut connection. So those are 4 of the things that they do, and we talked about that on day 1. On day 2, we covered leaky gut. I want you to drop a leaky gut in the comments if you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that. And let me tell you, you are not alone, because 80% of the population are said to be experiencing and dealing with leaky gut. And I want to give you just a few of the symptoms that are common and commonly associated with leaky gut. So chronic constipation, diarrhea, bloat, or stomach pain, leaky gut. Nutritional deficiencies, leaky gut. So a lot of times you'll see this if you're anemic, if you your hair falls out, if your skin is like really dry, or you have low energy levels, right? A lot of times that can come back to nutritional deficiencies. Poor immune health. So if you're dealing with an autoimmune condition, you have seasonal allergies, you get sick all of the time. You get sick and it's very difficult for you to get well. Things that linger on and on and on. It's like someone catches a cold, or your kid catches a cold, you catch it, and then it's very difficult to get rid of it, right? That can all come down to immune health. Headaches, chronic headaches, whether it be tension headaches, whether it be headaches from inflammation, or headaches, even migraines, they're showing there is a link to leaky gut. Brain fog, memory loss, any of those kinds of things. Leaky gut essentially creates inflammation in the gut, which then creates inflammation in the body, which then creates inflammation in the brain. And an inflamed brain is foggy. You get headaches. You have poor short-term memory, so you forget things. You're very forgetful. You don't remember, what's going on, and it's very, very difficult to focus and concentrate when you have a leaky, inflamed brain. I want you to drop leaky brain in the comments if this is something that you feel you deal with. Excessive fatigue is another common sign of leaky gut. So you can think of this in the sense of being tired all the time, but also when your body and your muscles are tired, where you just feel physically exhausted, your limbs feel heavy, your legs feel heavy. Drop a heavy in the comments if you've ever experienced this before. It's a really, really interesting thing when you start diving into it, but they found links to certain types of fungus and certain types of pathogenic bacteria that will cause that excessive fatigue in your body, not just with your energy levels as far as, your mental energy, but literally your physical well-being and your physical energy is impacted by leaky gut. Things like skin rashes, eczema, acne, rosacea, any of those kinds of things are symptoms that are associated with leaky gut. Cravings, so the types of foods that we want. When you have leaky gut, you want sugar, you want starchy foods, you want carbs, you want those more, processed and refined type foods, and it's a cycle, because the more you eat them, the more that feeds the yeast, the candida, the pathogenic bacteria, and the more you crave it. Okay, so body aches and joint pain, so any type of inflammation in the body, inflammation in the joints, inflammation in the muscles, lower back pain, neck pain, we can all think of different ways that we have those, it's just the aging process, aches, pains, those kinds of things. I want you to drop an aches in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. And you're like, is this just what 30 feels like, or 40 feels like, or 50 feels like, where my back just hurts and it takes me, 30 minutes to get woke up and to get everything loosened up and stretched out before it doesn't hurt? Or that you're feeling like you're having to pop an Aleve or ibuprofen, every day because you have those aches and pains, right? Again, it's commonly associated with leaky gut. And then depression, anxiety, ADHD, any type of these mental wellness disorders, or just out of balance mental wellness. So the feelings of anxiousness, you don't have to have a diagnosed mood disorder or diagnosed anxiety or diagnosed depression, but those feelings of depression, those feelings of anxiousness, those feelings of poor concentration, those feelings of overwhelm, those feelings of honestly of fear, of being frozen, of being stuck. Those things are associated with out of balance gut health and out of balance neurotransmitters, out of balance hormones, which all are the root cause a lot of times is leaky gut. Okay, and then autoimmune diseases. So let me know in the comments if you resonate with any of this. Jerrica said, wow, feeling heavy all the time. I didn't realize this. Yes, it's really, really interesting. There's some just really interesting research and science that's been done around that, of the effects of certain types of pathogenic bacteria and yeast and fungus overgrowths in the gut, and the physical manifestation that it has with our joints and our muscles, and with all of that. So Crystal says, yes, heavy. So yeah, that I didn't know that either until about a year and a half ago. And I was like, wow, that is crazy to start to connect all of the dots. And then as you start to rebalance and heal these things, and you heal the leaky gut, and you rebalance that ecosystem in your gut, and these symptoms start to alleviate, it's pretty remarkable. Okay. So that was on day 2. Day 3, we talked about neurotransmitters and hormones and how the body is communicating through the gut-brain axis. Okay, so we talked about those neurotransmitters, GABA, that restores calm, right? It helps with feelings of nervousness. It helps with feelings of overthinking, of worry, of stress and panic, right? GABA is the neurotransmitter that's responsible for that. Dopamine is our neurotransmitter that is responsible for focus, for drive, for motivation, for pain modulation, and then also for how we perceive pleasure and pain. Dopamine is highly linked to that. Okay, so dopamine is super important if you want to feel motivated, you want to feel driven, you want to feel like you're on top of the world, right? That's what dopamine helps you with. All right. We talked about serotonin, which is essential for motility, so for digestion, for sleep. So if you don't get adequate restful sleep, you have a hard time staying asleep, you have a hard time falling asleep. Serotonin is closely linked to that. Short-term memory, so our cognitive function and our memory is directly linked to serotonin. And then it's our happy neurotransmitter. So that overall feeling of well-being, that if you do not have adequate levels of serotonin in your body and in your brain, then that's when you feel anxious, you feel depressed, you feel, apathetic, right? That all comes down to adequate serotonin levels. And all of those neurotransmitters are largely produced in the gut by specific strains of bacteria. So they're produced in the gut and then modulated through the body, from the gut to the brain, many of these, and then some of these other ones to different systems in our body through this communication system that goes back and forth. So through the central nervous system, through the vagus nerve, and through the enteric nervous system. Okay, so the enteric nervous system is our gut lining. The central nervous system obviously comes through our brain and goes all through our body Drop a CNS in the comments if you've ever heard of the central nervous system and you kind of know what it does. You know it's important, right? Well, a lot of this communication that's happening in our body is through that central nervous system and through our enteric nervous system. And then also our vagus nerve, which goes directly from our brain down and then out. So it's like a stem from our brain down and then wraps around into our organs in our gut area. So through there, the gut can talk to the brain and the brain can talk to our to the gut. So back and forth. All right. We talked a little bit about hormones, right? We talked a little bit about hormones and how many of them are modulated and metabolized through the gut. So sometimes you can have an overage of certain hormones. Sometimes you can have an underage of certain hormones. A lot of times you'll have just where they're not communicating properly. And again, all of this comes down to what's going on in your gut and then how well that the two can communicate back and forth. And then we talked a little bit about the immune cells and inflammatory markers, those cytokines and some of these other systems in our body that the gut is producing, right? Many of these signaling molecules, many of these metabolites. So all of these different systems where our gut bacteria, the specific gut flora, is producing and then modulating all of this communication in our body. Drop a sci-fi in the comments if you're like, whoa, it's kind of crazy. It's still to this day to me, I'm like, it's mind-blowing. It's a paradigm shift from what we thought, how we thought our body operated before to what is actually happening, right? Drop a sci-fi in the comments if you're like, this is cool. But the really cool thing about it is that when you know what's going on, now you are back in control. Now you are back in charge and you can dictate how you feel, what you think, how you show up, right? You rebalance your body, you are back in control and now you get to decide how you feel, right? You don't just leave it up to chance and be like, I don't understand why I feel this way. Now you understand why you feel the way you do. I want you to drop an understand in the comments if you're like, yes, now I understand. At least somewhat, I'm understanding why I feel the way that I do. All right. Okay. So yes, we got some sci-fi, some definite for sure's and some sci-fi. Okay. And then on Thursday, on day 4, we talked about stress. Okay. And this is an absolute epidemic. I want you to write the word epidemic in the comments if you believe this to be true. Okay. 8 out of 10 Americans deal with chronic stress on a daily basis. Is an absolute epidemic. We are being inundated from every single direction with environmental stress, job stress, relationship stress, emotional stress, mental stress, physical stress. It's coming at us, nutritional stress from every single direction. And it is known scientifically. This is not theory. This is not something that people think. There is study after study after study after study. If you go to PubMed, if you turn on the news, if you just open your eyes even a tiny bit, this is what we're talking about. This is the issue. This is the epidemic of the 21st century that is driving the majority of chronic illness and overall dissatisfaction with life for millions of Americans is stress. And the reason why is because how it affects our body, right? It's not just that we're stressed. It's that we don't have stress resilience. It's that it directly and negatively impacts our gut flora, right? It directly and negatively impacts our gut flora. And then it also directly and negatively impacts that back and forth communication. So it weakens our immune system. Stress weakens our immune system. Stress causes us to have less of the beneficial bacteria that then is responsible for producing and creating those neurotransmitters like serotonin, like DOPA, like GABA. It elevates our cortisol, right? It elevates our stress hormone. And anytime a stress hormone goes up, dopamine and serotonin go down. right? It causes leaky gut, which then creates inflammation, which can cause digestive issues. It can cause skin rashes. It can cause headaches. It can cause brain fog. It can cause, nutrient deficiencies. It causes inflammation in the gut and then inflammation in the brain. So this is what stress does to our body on a biochemical level. I want you to drop a get it in the comments if you understand the very real effects and the very, very real impact of stress on the body and why it's such an issue. But the thing about it is it's nearly impossible for us in today's modern age, modern era for us to fully eliminate stress. It's nearly impossible. I want you to drop an impossible in the comments if you're like, I don't know, I've got kids and they're stressful. I've got a job and it's stressful. I've got, bills and I have all these things and it's stressful. And it's not possible for you to just check out and walk away from your life, right? I would not recommend that. Not recommended. That's not what I'm going to tell you. But you do need some tools, right? You do need a system to help you improve your stress resilience, because it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to eliminate all of the stress that's negatively impacting your gut, your brain, your body. Okay, yeah, so we've got some get it, and it's real and epidemic, and I 1000% believe that. So when you're stressed, we just talked about this, your body produces cortisol, which is great in small doses, but we're not dealing with small doses of this in our modern society. We're dealing with chronic elevated cortisol levels, elevated stress. And anytime that cortisol goes up, dopamine and serotonin go down, okay? Cortisol up, dopamine, serotonin go down, which means every single time that you are under chronic stress, it makes you that much, it makes it that much more difficult for you to experience the level of satisfaction. So the stressful event happens, cortisol comes up, dopamine and serotonin goes down, and if you don't do something specifically to rebalance that, then you are now at a point where biochemically it is more difficult for you to have the same level of overall satisfaction with your life that you were able to have before that stressful event. I want you to drop a light bulb in the comments if you just connected a dot there, okay? So stressful event, maybe you had a 6 months where your life was really stressful, right? Cortisol up, dopamine and serotonin down, all right? Now your body is producing less. You've had an incident or some issues with your gut, an imbalance with your gut and your gut lining. And now, even if the stressful event is taken away and that stressful situation is over and done with, on a biochemical level, you are no longer at the same point as you were before. So it will be much more difficult, if not impossible, for you to experience the same level of overall satisfaction as you were able to before that stressful event without doing something intentional to rebalance. Does that make sense? Is that a light bulb moment where you're like, oh, so more of the same does not work? That's why. More of the same does not work. Please drop that in the comments if this is making sense to you. All right. So stress causes inflammation in the gut, in the brain, in the body. It dampens that communication between the gut and the brain through those chemical messengers. And then it also impacts your hormones, right? So weakened gut health, elevated inflammation, dampened gut-brain connection, and overloaded detox pathways. That's why we feel meh. It's why we feel apathetic. It's why we feel gross. It's why we feel puffy. It's why we feel cranky, right? That's why. So the solution, and we talked about this briefly on Thursday, but I'm going to dive into it, and I'm going to map this out for you and help you understand exactly how to take control. I want you to drop a control in the comments if you know that you are your greatest asset. You are up to you. You deserve, you are worth it, right? You are worth it to invest the time, energy, and money into yourself to feel your best, to have stress resilience, to feel good, right? to feel balanced. You are worth it, all right? The solution is mind gut mastery. So that's going to get you that stress resilience. It's going to get you that healthy, beneficial bacteria, that good gut health, right? That everybody's talking about, that good gut health, that good brain health, and that mental wellness, right? Mental wellness means that you're overall energetic, happy, you have strong focus, strong cognitive function, right? Good cognitive flexibility. And you're going to get that through specific Amare supplementation programs and community. And we're going to dive into that. But I just wanted to touch on this clinical study that was done on the three-part system. And we'll dive into this a little bit more, but I want to talk about this, okay? And I could talk about all the science, and I could say exactly what's in it, and I could tell you all of the, features of the program, but it really doesn't matter, okay? What matters is how it makes you feel. And I want you to drop a feel in the comments, because how it makes you feel is more meaningful. That's what's really going to give you the outcome that you want in your life. That's what's really going to give you the level of energy and joy and satisfaction and presence for you to be who you want to be to those who need you. It doesn't matter if you have, X amount of X type of bacteria in your gut. That doesn't matter. What matters is how does that make you feel? And I want to tell you specifically through the clinical study that was done, what they found on how this program shows up and how it makes you feel. Okay? So the features, what it gives you is 28% higher lactobacilli. So this was within 30 days of using this three-part system that we're going to dive into. Participants versus the placebo were shown to have 28% higher lactobacilli, which is just a specific species of bacteria. 30% higher levels of bifidobacterium, which again is just a certain species of bacteria, and then 17% higher overall composite score. And we were talking about gut health. Diversity is the holy grail. Drop a diversity in the comments. I really, really want you to understand this, because even if this is not for you, you need to know that that is the most important thing. Point blank, end of story. Again, the science is very clear on that. Diversity and specificity. Diversity and specificity are where we're at right now with our understanding, with the research, with the science. Okay, so this helps with that specificity, right, with the lactobacilli and the bifidobacterium, but it also helps with your overall composite score, which is your diversity. So what that feels like is 45% lower tension, 55% lower depression, 54% lower anger, so feelings of depression, feelings of tension, feelings of anger, 64% lower feelings of fatigue, more energy, 64% more energy. What would that do for you? I want you to tell me in the comments what 64% more energy would look like in your life. What would you get done? Who would you be able to connect with? How would you be able to show up? What would that look like for your family, for your job, for your purpose, for your community? If you felt the way that you're designed to feel, what would that look like? I want you to tell me in the comments. 43% lower confusion, 44% higher vigor. That's what this looks like, how you feel when you implement this super simple system. Okay, so let's dive into that. All right, so what you get when you join Mind Gut Mastery, and we're going to talk about that, is you get that gut-brain axis system that I was just talking about. It's called the Fundamentals. It's from Amare Global. They're the manufacturer and the producer of that system. It is the only gut-brain axis system on the market right now today that works in the way that it does, the only one. All right, so it retails for $234. You're also going to get a microbiome reset, which is a 3-day, a reboot, which is a 3-day microbiome reset. That retails for $34. You're going to get a Mind Gut product credit. So this can be for any other of the products through Amare Global. In addition to all of this, they also give you a free product credit for you to use of your choice. And that can be up to $60 retail. You're going to get lifetime access to our private Mind Gut Mastery community, which would be valued at $197. You're going to get monthly recipe bundles and demos, so you're going to understand how to eat for gut health, understand how to fuel your body and your microbiome, because nutrition matters, right? I want you to drop the nutrition in the comments if you understand this. It matters. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it does matter. And that would be valued at $297 per year. You're going to get access to mentorship via Messenger or via phone call, okay? Via Messenger or via phone call with myself or some of the other admins that are in this community, which I'm going to introduce you to them in just a moment. But you are going to get lifetime access to this private community, right? And then you're also going to get mentorship via Messenger or phone call. I would value this at $997 per year. Okay, you're going to get all of our Mind Gut programs, which we'll dive into that. And then you're also going to get first access to the Amare platform in Q4, which is all designed to help you with increasing your mental wellness. So you're going to have access to workouts. You're going to have access to nutrition. You're going to have access to meditation and mindfulness practices. All of that would be valued at $297 per year. So if I added this all up right now, and this is not including that access to that Amare platform, you would pay $2,116. And I guarantee you it would be worth every penny of it. I guarantee you, because I spent about double that number in a 6-month period of time working on finding all of this information. Just figuring this out, I spent easily double that number just trying to figure this stuff out. And you get like the answers. You get all of that information that I spent all of that money investing in learning and trying different things and all of that. You get to go past that whole 6-month time period and get the workbook, you know, basically like, here you go, here's the solution, here's the answers. But you're not going to pay that. Okay, so you're not going to pay $2,116. That's you know, that's a lot of money. You're not going to pay that. You're going to get all of that just by getting started as an Amare customer, and that is going to start at $160 and then go up from there depending on what your specific needs are. Okay, so again, the solution, if you are serious about taking control and taking charge and investing in yourself, the solution is Mind Gut Mastery. All right, that's stress resilience, that's gut health, that's brain health, that's mental wellness through specific Amare supplementation programs and community. Okay, so let's dive into this. So what you get, right, when you join at $160, so starting at $160, and then again, depending on what your needs are, it goes from there. You are going to get a 3-part system, a 3-part gut-brain axis system to heal your gut. So we talked about leaky gut. This is the solution. This will help heal your gut. Rebalance your microbiome. We talked about stress resilience. We talked about immune health. We talked about neurotransmitters. Again, this is going to help rebalance your microbiome, re-inoculate and rebalance your microbiome so that your neurotransmitters are balanced, so that your hormones are balanced, right? And what that looks like is those symptoms of mood swings, of low energy, of fatigue, of brain fog, of headaches, of joint pain, of body aches, of immune issues. Alleviating those symptoms through rebalancing your microbiome and then optimizing your gut-brain communication. So optimizing your enteric nervous system, your central nervous system, and your vagus nerve. Okay, so that's what one of the pieces that you're going to get. You're also going to get a free reboot, which is their microbiome reset to help maximize your results when you start on that fundamentals pack. You're going to get that for free. All right, so the only product that you pay for to start off with is that gut-brain axis system. You get a free reboot, and then you also get an additional free product credit for any of the other products that they have. So they have, they have many different products to help you with stress, to help you with sleep, to help you with overall inflammation, to help you with digestion, to help you with nutrition. Depending on what your specific needs are, you get a free product credit specifically for that. And then you're also going to get the option to add on additional products to help customize your system, your plan to meet your needs, to help you hit your goals. Because you guys, we are bio-individual. I want you to write the word bio-individual in the comments if you understand this and you're like, your needs aren't exactly the same as mine, and my needs aren't exactly the same as anyone else's that's coming through this program. We're bio-individual, and that's where you're going to be able to add in this customizable plan at an additional 54% discount, which is awesome. Okay. So if that wasn't enough, right, you also, because you're in this group, because you're going through this challenge with me and whoever invited you into this group, we're all part of a community, right? We're all part of a community, which I'm going to tell you about. So in addition to all of the amazing things that you get from Amara, you also get our Mind Gut Mastery community, okay? And that is a free bonus, So that mentorship, the recipe bundles, all of the programs, you get those through that Mind Gut Mastery community. So one of those is Project B3, all right? This is a program, so it helps you master your brain, body, and biome for optimal health and weight loss, if that's your specific goal. You can understand this, master your nutrition, understand intuitive eating through Project B3. Another program is Sense. So this is supplementation, exercise, stress management, nutrition, and evaluation. It's a very, very, very simple protocol. This is what I adhere to. This is what has helped me go from feeling meh, right? Drop a meh in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, to feeling 1000% on top of my game. Simply, I follow Sense. That's mine. I'm releasing a brand new series called Know Your Neurotransmitters that's designed to help you optimize your mood and energy, to really help you understand your neurotransmitters, what specifically you may be struggling with, and then how to optimize that specific neurotransmitter. And then we also do monthly challenges. So through the group, we do monthly challenges to help you, keep you motivated and moving forward towards your goals. All right. So those are some of the programs that you get. Also, people, because the biggest thing that I have learned over my 10 years as a self-taught health nut is that community is the missing link. Okay, I want you to drop a community in the comments if you find this to be true yourself, right? It matters who you surround yourself with. There's tons of science and research on this that is so interesting to me, but truly the people, we become the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So if you do not have a community to plug into of like-minded individuals, goal-oriented individuals that are serious about changing their health, about changing their mindset, about changing their energy levels, it makes it nearly impossible for you to see long-term results. Again, there's study after study after study that has been done on this exact same thing. Community is everything. That's what you get. You get a private group, you get access, lifetime access to that Mind Gut Mastery community full of recipes, mindset, education, mentorship, and additional tools to help you have success. You get that community of a group of like-minded women working towards a common goal. That is everything. You get accountability. You get people who are supporting you towards your goals, towards your lifestyle change. And people that have support are 85% more likely to achieve their goals. This is not my opinion. This is not something that I came up with. This came out of Harvard University. There's a major study that was done on this about the effect of accountability and the effect of a group. 85% more likely to achieve their goals than those that don't. This matters. Drop a matters in the comments if you know that accountability makes a difference, whether or not you keep going or whether or not you throw in the towel. And then you also get that mentorship, which, you guys, this is priceless. You don't have to go it alone. You can learn from those who have went before you, and that will save you so much time, so much energy, so much effort. The thing that I have learned in my life is when I want to achieve something, I find someone who has done it, and I enlist them as a mentor, whether it is in business, relationships, finance, health. It doesn't matter what it is. I find a mentor that has went before me and can save me all of the headaches and hassles and just like, you know, mistakes. I find a mentor, and it will speed up your project and speed up your trajectory like you would not believe. Okay. So I want to introduce you to a handful of the mentors that are in our Mind Gut Mastery community. So we have a diverse group in there. These are just a few of the mentors that are in that community. But really, it doesn't matter who you are or what kind of your struggle is. I guarantee you there's someone who has went before you and that relates with you. So we've got Stephanie Rousseau. She's a mom of two. She's an educator. And she lives on the East Coast. She's improved her mood set. So she's dealt with depression and anxious feelings and emotional eating for many, many years. And she's improved all of those things and improved her stress resilience. And she is one of the mentors in that community. We've got Ashley Left in there. So she's a stay-at-home mom of two. She's a farm wife. So they're on the tail end of harvest right now. So she's been in the thick of just like crazy busy season. I want you to drop a harvest in the comments if you are, you know, a farm person or a farm wife or a farmer, and you know what she's talking about. So she's overcome burnout, anxious feelings, and loneliness from lack of community. And she's one of our mentors in that group. We've got Jessica Allen in there, who is a mom of four. She's a homeschooler. She is also a farm wife and is just a really remarkable woman. She has improved her symptoms of PMDD, burnout, chronic pain, and then just her overall stress resilience. She's another mentor that's in there. I'm going to just introduce you to 6 of our admins in the community. And again, we have many, many more who have went before you, share their answers, and it truly is a group effort. All right, so we've got Barn Boss Wendy. So Wendy Robertson that's in there. She's a mom of 3. She's actually my mom, but her kids are grown. So her youngest, I think, is 32 now. They have a hobby farm that she manages and does all of feeds the chickens and the cows and the horses and all of the things. And she's a grandma, and so my girls keep her very busy doing grandma duty. But she's improved her symptoms from menopause. So hot flashes, the crankiness, the moodiness. Sorry, Mom, but it's true. Drop an LOL in the comments if that makes you laugh. But the moodiness, the crankiness, the menopause symptoms has dramatically improved her sleep quality and eliminated the majority of the aches and pains and just overall kind of meh feelings that she was dealing with as just, you know, getting older. So she's one of our mentors in that community. We've got Mackenzie Woods, who is a first-time mom. So Marshall will be a year in September. She's a hairstylist and educator, and she's actually a baby microbiome expert. So she's a nursing mom, a natural mom, and that's kind of her zone of genius and her zone of expertise. So if you're pregnant or nursing or in that new mom phase of life, she is our go-to expert for all things, you know, mom related, new mom related, but she has more energy and feels better after baby than she ever did before. And she was very, very intentional about that. She's got a really cool story to explain kind of why she did things the way that she did. But she's one of our mentors in that community. And then the last one that we're going to talk about today is Jerica Lockwood. She's a mom of 1, homeschooler. She's a cattle rancher out in Oklahoma. And has overcome some major brain fog issues. So she was dealing with a lot of like short-term memory loss and just major cognitive function issues that she's gotten to the other side of, anxious feelings, alcohol cravings, and gut issues, so digestive issues. So she is an expert in all things gut envy and what is it that she says, like, they're going to want your, or know your shit. I don't remember what it is, but it's really funny. Tell me in the comments, Jerica, what your tagline is, because it's awesome. And then she also just said that Jerica said that my mom put up with me. And yes, she did. And I am very much responsible for many of her, well, she doesn't have gray hair. So maybe I'm not responsible because she doesn't have gray hair. But anyways, I digress. So these are your mentors in that community, and just a piece of everything that you get with it. Okay, so I think I want to come back and just show you again everything that you get when you join. Come back, there we go. So when you join, you get that gut brain access system that's valued at $234, that microbiome reboot that's valued at $34, the mind gut product credit that you can choose whatever you want. You get lifetime access to that private group. You get monthly recipe bundles and demos. You get access to mentorship via messenger or phone to deal with whatever you specifically need help with. You get access to those mind gut programs, and then first access to the Amare platform when it comes out in Q4 of 2019. That would all be valued at $2,116. You can get it for $160. So $160 is going to get you all of what we just talked about, lifetime access to this community, and everything that you need to master your mood and maximize your energy from within, to really, really optimize that mind-gut connection. And I want to remind you, you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. You can't keep eating the same food, living the same life, having the same approach every single day, day in and day out, and expect for things to change. It will not happen, okay? Nothing changes if nothing changes. And it is impossible for you to get new results without new information or a new approach. All right? So join now. Again, this is going to start at $160, and you are bio individual. So the package that you choose will be customized to your needs. What I want you to do, if you are ready, I want you to drop a join now and tag the person who invited you into this community, and they will help walk you through exactly what you need, walk you through the steps, and get you set up, get you added into that Mind Gut Mastery community, and get you on your way to feeling your best. I'm gonna stop the screen share.